Hi all, good morning. Welcome to the session where I'll be explaining how to read payroll result of an employee. Reading payroll result is a complex by nature because we are not directly reading from any database table, rather than we are reading from cluster. Basically, while we are reading from cluster, these are the steps that we follow. First of all, we read all the control records. Then, from those control records, we need to fetch the sequence number. Out of all the control records, we have to filter it out the control records we are interested based on the date criteria given in the screen, program selection screen. Then we need to read the cluster ID. We know payroll results are stored in clusters. It is a country dependent solution. We need to identify based on the country of the employee. We are going to read the payroll. What is the cluster ID? Then once we have the sequence number, cluster ID and employee number, we'll be able to read payroll result. Remember, to read the payroll result, we need three things. One is employee number for whom we are going to read the payroll result, sequence number for which we are going to read the payroll result, cluster ID the employee belongs to. Let me go to SAP system. And before I go and write the program, let me show you how exactly the payroll result looks like. What is the transaction code to read the display the payroll results? The transaction code is PC underscore pay result. Hit enter. In this place, enter the personal number of the employee. If there is payroll result, the left side it will be shown and the color should be green. Color green means there is payroll result for the employee. Many times the payroll has been run. You can see each record specifies one iteration of payroll run. You can mark the last column is the sequence number that we are interested in to read the payroll result. And all these information, I say these are control records. So whenever I give an employee number, I see a list of records that is nothing but the number of times payroll has been ran. And from this we need to filter out specific records and read out the sequence number. Let me open any of these record and see what is inside. Once you double click the payroll control record, you will see different tables inside it, like RT, CRT. RT will store the results and CRT will store the cumulative result. Cumulative means the like cumulations, quarterly or yearly cumulations, quarter to date means or year to date, so cumulations. And ST stores tax information, and ADR stores address information. Again, if you double click on the RT table, result table, you will find further information on the wage type and amount. In payroll, wage type is nothing but the pay component. What you see inside the wage type and the amount. Okay, so you can see it's a nested structure because the first time you see all the control records, you double click, you come to individual tables where the result has been stored, and again you double click, you find out the OS type and the amount. Every country has its own structure to hold the payroll result. Why so? Because payroll result, the way it is structured into three parts. One is control information, EVP. Another is national information that is specific to that country. And the international information that is common across countries. So let's see the structure of payroll result. We need that structure to hold payroll result because that is a nested structure. You can see how it is nested. You see for employee, the control record, you enter, you see the internal table, again you enter, you see the result. Okay. Let me go to data dictionary, SE11, and the structure name is pay, then the ISO code of the country. This employee is Germany employee. You can see Germany employee. So it will be DE is the ISO code. Then result. If it is US, pay US result. If it is UK, pay GB result. That's GB is the ISO code. It's for Germany employee, the employee for which we saw the payroll result. So the structure will be pay DE result. So this structure we need to use to hold the payroll result. We cannot have any other structure because this structure holds the Germany specific result. If you go inside the structure, you'll see it is divided into three parts. One is EVP and the international part of it and national part of it. Any country you go, it will be the similar structure. They differ by national part. Let me see pay US result, how it looks like. You'll see three components, EVP, international component and national component. For the employee, we saw just now the result. Employee being Germany employee, we need to use this structure to hold the payroll result. Let me create a program to read the payroll result. My objective is I'll be reading the payroll result and result table. I'll read the OS type and the amount. Okay. So I have to see this is the payroll result, and if I go to international, I'll find result table. So remember, my result table data type is PC207, and where I do get this information from the country specific structure. So it's my result table structure is PC207, and my payroll result structure is pay DE result. Let me get a program. Go through SE38. Get a program. Let me create a local object. First of all, I'll create an LDB program, a program using logical database. Go to attributes, give the logical database name. I'll give PNP, and again go to attributes, choose the selection screen, because if you use logical database, you can select the screens given by SAP. Even you can develop yours, but it is optional. We can use. Let me make it very simple. I'll take only employee number to make this program simple. For the employee number, I want to read the payroll result. Okay. First is data declaration. I am using logical database. So what I will use tables Partner. Let me write all the events. Okay. I have to declare few data types. What data types? I need to hold payroll results in an internal table. So I need an internal table to hold payroll results. So data LT result type table of, I just showed you. I have to be careful here. I have to take only the structure specific to the country. So pay DE result. Okay, next, what I need to use, I need to have a placeholder to store control records. That means LT control records type. Let me see what will be my structure of control record. You can see PC 261. You can take type table of PC 261. I also need we can keep it LT control, and most people take this as RGDIR because the function module will be using like that. We can use it. Anything is fine. And I'll work you create a work area also. Type PC 261. Then I need an internal table to store result table. So it is LTRT. I'll go back to the structure. I'll go with the international. I want the result table. This is my structure. Okay, PC 207. So type, I can use type table of PC 207. I need work area also. Type PC 207. Okay. Then I need to have a variable to store sequence number. So I can say LB sequence number type. What will be my sequence number? Every time I'll be going to the structure. Sequence number stored in the control record. So this is my control record, EVP, PC261. If you go, it will have sequence number inside. So it will be PC261 sequence number. Then I need cluster ID, LB cluster ID type. So all my data declaration done. So declaration to store the result, declaration to hold the all the control records, and declaration to store the result table. Once the payroll has been read, the not all the tables, we are interested in the results table, and this variable will store the sequence number, and this variable stores the cluster ID. Remember, the sequence number and cluster ID we need to get the result. Okay. Okay, we'll go to startup selection. We are using logical database. So we'll trigger get panel. As soon as you trigger get panel, it will keep looping all the employee numbers one by one and read the payroll result. Now, whatever I explained, I'll be writing subroutines for that, because just to structure what I'm going to do. Okay, what is in my mind. First of all, what I'll do, I'll get all the sequence number. Okay, get RGDIR. So this will get me all sequence number. Then I have to use from those sequence, from those control records. So it's not sequence number, get all control records. From all those control records, we need to find out the sequence number. Get sequence number. Then I have to get the cluster ID. cluster ID, sequence number. Then I have cluster ID, sequence number. I will read the payroll result. Perform, read payroll. Once I read the payroll, I can use to display it. So at a high level, this is my logic. We'll work on this one by one. Get sequence number. How do I get sequence number? Double click it, get the subroutine. There is a function module to get the sequence number. The function module name is cu underscore read underscore rgdir. Let me call this cu underscore read rgdir for this function model. And this function model expects employee number, and it will return all the control records. So we have declared an internal table. We'll be using that internal table. Go back. Step 1 over, we read all the control records. Step 2 is, from those control records, we'll filter out to get the one. For this example, let us pick the latest one, latest result. Okay. But in your program, real time, you can filter out based on the selection screen dates. There's a function cd read last. So this will give the latest of the sequence number. Suppose payroll has been ran 5 times, this will give the 5th result sequence number. You give the dates and will be what it takes. Take the start date, end date, and it gives you the sequence number. Step 2 over, I read all the control records. From those control records, I get the latest one with the sequence number. Done. Next, I have to get the cluster ID. To get the cluster ID, also we have a function model. If you pass the employee number, it will directly give you the cluster ID. This is the function model. PYXX get REL ID from the partner. You pass the partner personal number, and it will give you the cluster ID in REL ID. In real time, you have to write code properly. Just to demonstrate how to create, I am making it simple. Only the fields really required, I am keeping it. Rest I am deleting it. Okay, actually the field name is CLID, cluster ID. Cluster ID. Okay. Now I read the cluster ID. I'll be going to read the payroll result. To read the payroll result, we have a function model. PYXX read payroll result. Enter it. So you have to pass it. This is the important function model which actually gives you the payroll result. It takes input the employee number, then cluster ID and sequence number, I need to return you the payroll result. This function actually reads the payroll result, and for this function model, as it expects the cluster ID and sequence number, we used previously two function models to get the cluster ID and sequence number. Okay, so we are done with the reading payroll results. Now it's like we have to display it. To display it, I explained we'll be displaying only the RT result, this table. So this is what is the path of getting RT. If you go to the structure, payroll is a cluster data. Now, if you go to the payroll result, so this is how the payroll result will be read. So we have to go to the result, international component, then RT. This is the path to get the RT table data. Okay. So let me go here. I will do part LT result, then international part, then RT. You can show again. Try to understand this path. It's very important. It is like result, then international. Inside that RT is there. So it is like result, international, RT into the work area. And look here, I have to print. Let me make it very simple. Print the employee number and the wage type and amount. Right. Employee number, wage type, technical field is LGAT. Okay, that's all. How do I know technical name is LGAT, BTRG? Even you can find it here. If you go to RT table structure, inside the structure, you'll see it's LGAT is the wage type, and you'll find BTRG down, amount. Okay, is the payroll amount. Okay, I am done with the program. Let me check it. Data declaration issue. Let me go here. Can make it. Okay. The two error syntax issues, so we solved it. Now let's try to run. It to give the employee number, execute it. You can see employee number, all the wage type. For that employee number in result table, amount is coming. We want to check it. Okay, we'll go to read the payroll result. Okay, not this one. We'll be going to the latest one. So latest one is 1999. We'll go to the last one. So it is 2015, the first period. So this is the latest one. I'll go to the result table. I'll see what's the amount 101. The gross amount is 138278. 138278. Okay. The very basic way and simple way of explaining how to read the payroll result. Let me summarize. So whenever you are going to read payroll result of an employee, these are the steps. First is get all the control records. Then from those control records, filter it out to get the latest control record that will have the sequence number. So step one is over. You got the sequence number. Then you have to identify what is the cluster ID. Being it's a country dependent, each country payroll result stored in a different cluster ID. So you get it using the function models PYXX get REL ID from partner. First, you got the sequence number. Second, you call another function to get the cluster ID. Third is, now we have everything. Employee number from the screen, sequence number we read, cluster ID we read. Next, we have to read the payroll result. There's a function model which is expecting these three values: employee number, cluster ID, and sequence number. This will give the result. Important factor is when it gives back the result, it gives in a particular structure. And how do I know what structure? There is a convention, pay country ISA code underscore result. The employee number we went to read the payroll result was German employee. German employee, German country, ISO code is DE, like USA, US, UK, GB. So the structure is pay DE underscore result. So in our program, the declaration for the payroll result internal table should be type of pay DE underscore result. It will store it. Our objective was to get the result table. And now we payroll result structure is a nested structure where exactly the result table is there. So we went to pay DE underscore result structure, went to the component, international component. We again went to inside the RT, we found the data inside the RT. Okay, please practice it few times, then you'll get the confidence. Any questions? Okay. Thank you all.